I sit here and I listen to my comrade just now and some of the others. I'm convinced that there is need for mass surgery for glaucoma cases because the blind cannot see. But the good book says, those who have eyes, let them see. And those who have ears, let them hear. Because as you move around this country, if you're going to see all the development and come in here and say to this nation that nothing, this AP and UAFC government has done something wrong. And I got 3 words to you. 2 words, seek help.
Seek help, seek help, seek help. Seek help.
Budget 2018 was aptly titled, "The Journey to the Good Life Continues." Mr. Speaker, a journey is not an event. It is a process with many stages. And the year 2018 has seen us complete another stage of this journey. I'm therefore delighted to describe what that stage looked like from the perspective of the housing sector. And I trust that my throat gives me justice today. I want to ask you to lay hands on me. Mr. Speaker, as at October 31st, no infrastructural development works were completed in Luston Ross, Zeeland Phase 3, Regularization, and Zeeburg in Region 3, Section B and D Nonpareil, Le Penitence, Perseverance, Covent Garden, and Farm Phase 2 in Region 4, Amelia's Ward in Region 10. While works are ongoing in Providence, Peters Hall, and Little and Great Diamond in Region 4. Consolidation of existing housing areas. Mr. Speaker, upgrading of road works and other infrastructure development works were completed in a number of areas. And we have things to report on.
Yes, yes.
So I can't spend too much time on what is said over the other side. Perfect Harmony, Westminster and Tushan in Region 3. Perseverance, Phase 2, Horstellin, Section EE Nonpareil in Region 4. Block D, Bath, Region 5.
All right.
Number 76, Village and Ordnance Fort Lands in Region 6. Amelia's Ward, Phase 1B and 2 in Region 10. This component of the program experienced this level of success because the procurement stage was completed very early. Upgrading of recreational facilities. Mr. Speaker, we are pleased to say to the House that we have completed upgrading in Tapachunga, Latham, and work in progress in Amelia's Ward, Linden.
Right.
Works for installation network were completed in the following areas: Zeeland, Phase 2 and 3, Covent Garden, Peters Hall, Barnwell, Eccles Industrial, and Perseverance, Region 4. Hope Experiment, Region 5, and Kilcoy Chesney in Region 6. Housing Solutions. Mr. Speaker, the government continued to move forward with its effort to provide adequate, affordable housing for the Guyanese people.
Yes.
By focusing on building complete housing units of a high standard.
Yes.
During the period under review, 202 units were completed and 52 are in progress to be completed by mid-December this year.
All right.
149 units were completed in Perseverance 4, Region 4. Of that, 76 two-bedroom duplexes, 42 two-bedroom elevated units,
All right.
two-bedroom flat units, three-bedroom flat units. That's at Perseverance. 17 units were completed at Experiment, Region 5.
Yes.
10 two-bedrooms in under Neiman, Region 3. And I must say that this is just a testing ground in Region 3 and 5,
yes,
because they were never accustomed to being provided with housing units.
Never before, never before. 500.
20 units of the 60 are under construction at Amelia's Ward, Region 10. Mr. Speaker, the implementation of these programs would bring relief and improvement to the lives of approximately 3,050 beneficiaries. Mr. Speaker, Providence Gardens, formerly known as the Remigrant Scheme, because I know my friends are going to take credit for the Remigrant Scheme. It was repurposed to include locally based Guyanese with high affordability, particularly young professionals. Since that change was done around April this year, an amount of 331 house lots were allocated, which says that we have people right here who can meet the demand for this particular community.
All right.
And I must say they have been paying up. Notably, it was rezoned to accommodate light commercial activities like supermarket, pharmacy, a bookstore, etc., to support residents. Monies generated from sale of these lots will be used to do further upgrade to the infrastructure in this scheme. Sustainability housing for the hinterland. Mr. Speaker, under the sustainability housing for the hinterland funded by the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, 46 families in Burima, Waini, Region 1, and 62 families from Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo, Region 9, benefited from the subsidized housing component.
All right, all right.
Another 40 units are under construction in Region 9.
Good life.
Mr. Speaker, further to the subsidized housing, a total of 19 families benefited from the roof replacement subsidy component. A similar exercise is in progress for another 16 families in Region 1 and 3 in Region 9. Mr. Speaker, over the years, hinterland housing was only focused on Regions 1 and 9. But we are a people, we are a government that are inclusive. However, in 2018, we have extended this similar project to Region 7 and will further extend in 2019 to other hinterland areas.
Yes.
And for the purpose of my colleague MP, Pauline, Honorable Pauline, we're at Keiko, Camarang, Waradang, and Kwebena, and a mother house at Jawala. The names are important. Adequate housing and urban accessibility program. Mr. Speaker, the government of Guyana, in collaboration with the IDB, has reformulated a loan for the road network upgrade and expansion program. The project Adequate Housing and Urban Accessibility Program is being implemented by the Ministry of Communities through the Central Housing and Planning Authority. The project is comprised of 3 components: affordable and sustainable housing, consolidation of existing housing schemes, implementing support and institutional strengthening. Under this program, Guyanese and selected communities, more particularly between the Little and Great Diamond on the East Bank, Georgetown and the East Coast Corridor, and Parfait Harmony on the West Bank, Demerara, will benefit from road upgrades, construction of walkways, rehabilitation of community facilities, installation of street lights, home improvement subsidy, and the core house support. To date, CHMPA has fulfilled all conditions prior to the first disbursement, so we're ready to go.
All right.
Preparation of tender documents were completed, and the bidding process has commenced. Application forms have been distributed for the affordable and sustainable component. This will run for a period of 3 months from November this year to February 2019. Mr. Speaker, out of the projected 1,000 allocations for 2018, as at the end of October, allocations stand at 742, or 74.2%. These allocations were done in regions 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 10. Mr. Speaker, when we promoted the Housing Solutions 2017 and beyond in May of last year, among the type of houses featured were the duplex units. Yes. Mr. Speaker, the critics had a field day. The naysayers went to town. Many said that it was a return to the Burnham days. Others contended that no one wants to live in tenement arrangement. Well, Mr. Speaker, as the late great President Nelson Mandela once said, it always seems impossible until it's done. And I want to say it's done. Some people must see it to believe it. But transformational leaders give people a vision to believe in.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I am delighted to inform this House that 47 flat duplexes and 2 elevated units were constructed and fully allocated.
All right.
In other words, people have embraced the idea, and now we don't have enough to supply to meet the demand.
Vision, vision, vision.
We also built and allocated 66 2-bedroom elevated units, 14 2-bedroom bungalow, 10 flat 2-bedroom units, and 11 flat 3-bedroom units constructed so far. Additionally, we have already handed over 64 keys for housing solutions.
Neil, you hear it? Neil, you hear it?
Mr. Speaker, 1,110 applicants had their transports and certificates of title processed, and 2,009 applicants actually received their transports and titles as at October 31st.
Beautiful, beautiful.
CHMPA planning function. I must say, Mr. Speaker, that many persons do not understand that CHMPA has a major role in the planning of the planning function in this country. Many persons think that CHMPA is just about house, lot, and house. But we have a major role, and more than ever, we're playing that role. Because as you move around this country, you see so much confusion, and you're left to wonder. Mr. Speaker, the planning unit processed 788 applications as of October 2018. This represents 98.5% of the planned target for 2018. One spatial development plan for Sophia was completed, and procurement ongoing for the East Bank Eccles Grove Development Plan. Planning sessions were completed with 9 municipalities and NDCs in Regions 3, 4, and 5. Sessions are also scheduled for NDCs for Regions 2 and 6 in January 2019. 4 housing areas within the Bartica municipality and 5 within the Letta municipality were handed over. Housing areas between Greater Georgetown are next in line. Squatter regularization. Regularized squatter lots allocated. Mr. Speaker, efforts to curb the scourge of squatting continued apace. To this end, 211 regularized squatter lots were allocated and 209 titles issued. However, there has been a slow response by persons approved for allocations in making their payments. CHMPA will continue to work with these persons, and CHMPA is currently commissioning a study on squatting in collaboration with other relevant agencies. Mr. Speaker, 74 informal settlers from the Lamaha Canal Reserves will be relocated to Cummins Lodge in the new year. The buildings were numbered, household profiles were completed, and an inventory is to be completed by the end of this year.
Nice,
we are a caring government.
Nice, nice.
Mr. Speaker, in keeping with the CHMPA community engagement strategy, the following activities were conducted. Homeowner sensitization sessions, where 240 homeowners participated in homeowner sessions across 11 communities in regions 1, 4, and 9. Participants were sensitized on matters such as building standards, expansion options, care and maintenance of the home. They were also issued with a maintenance manual prepared by CHMPA. In Region 4, the homeowners were sensitized on matters such as planning standards and compliance, the agreement of sale, expansion options, building designs, and community engagement activities. Mr. Speaker, the agency engaged with 26 local democratic organs, including Amerindian village councils, regional democratic councils, municipal councils, and NDCs. Mr. Speaker, we engaged the Amerindian village councils on project monitoring and project startup and project closeout workshops specific to the sustainable housing for the hinterland program in regions 1 and 9 and region 7. Mr. Speaker, we engaged the RDCs in regions 1, 4, and 9 to provide updates on the projects in their respective regions. We further engaged the municipalities of Bartok and Georgetown concerning the handing over of housing areas within the municipality's boundaries. Similar engagements were done at the level of the NDCs in Regions 3 and 4. We also engaged Buxton Falls NDC regarding development works for a community ground within the NDC boundary. Mr. Speaker, as Minister responsible for housing, I engaged with several stakeholders, both locally and internationally. These engagements focus on dealing with issues such as squatter eradication, private-public partnership initiative, acquisition of land for housing, explore working with the banking sector to provide mortgages to potential homeowners. And these engagements will intensify in the new year. Additionally, CHMPA participated in several local exhibitions as a means of sensitizing and educating the public about the agency's program. The International Decade for People of African Descent Assembly allowed us to engage with small business owners on the procurement process and how they can apply for contracts. A brochure was developed to provide guidance on the procurement process. The timber exhibition allowed us to give the public a preview into the new low-cost housing initiative that CHMPA will be embarking on very soon. At the Quarantine Chamber of Commerce exhibition, patrons were able to see the housing solution options, which will be available in their region as well, as access information on the process for acquiring a housing solution. At the Green Expo, we showcased an example of an affordable energy-efficient house equipped with solar panel, LED lights, and other components. That is in keeping with the Guyana's Green Agenda. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to say to this House and to the people of Guyana, that house will be on display at our upcoming 2019 Housing Expo and will be given away free to a lucky winner. Free. That's how we do it.
Never before. Never
Mr.
before.
Speaker, a team at CHMPA, and we talk about empowerment. A team from CHMPA attended a project management training in Washington, D.C., and an IDB-sponsored event here at home. Several senior managers attended the Caribbean Urban Forum seminar with emphasis on urban planning. Other staff attended the After Katrina study tour in the person of the CEO and in the person of our Chief Development Planner, a program in Latin America on Sustainable Development Goals 11. The Path Ahead 2019 work program details. So, Mr. Speaker, after looking at what we have accomplished, I now want to share with this House and with the people what we plan to accomplish in 2019. We have recognized that this is a big year for us.
Yes.
And we are going to do what we know to do best.
Yes.
And we're going to leave in 2020 our comrades on the other side to remain on the other side. Mr. Speaker,
the Lord comes.
Guided by the measures of Budget 2019, under the theme Transforming the Economy, Empowering People, Building Sustainable Communities for the Good Life, we will pursue the following program. Mr. Speaker, In pursuit of government's green agenda, CHMPA has reviewed design layout of schemes to include elements such as commercial spaces, green spaces, access to services, improved mobility features such as bicycle lanes and walkways.
All right.
These features are included in the proposed design, starting with Commons Lodge housing development, which we hope will be the model for all future developments. Also, housing areas such as Sophia will be retrofitted to accommodate these features. Further, CHMPA will partner with the private sector in the construction of green low-cost houses that will have features such as LED lights, plumbing features that support less use of water, and improve septic tank display. The agency will promote the use of energy-efficient lights and renewable energy such as solar. Mr. Speaker, it is widely known that persons in the lower income bracket represent the largest number of families in need of housing. And they are also the group that has the most challenges to acquire decent, affordable housing. We will be addressing this situation frontally. CHMPA has designed several low-income housing units, which will be on display during our exhibition in 2019. The cost of these units commenced at $4 million. In 2019, the agency will construct approximately 350 to 400 units in several areas. In addition, we will work with the private sector to deliver additional units across the country. House lots will be made available to those who are desirous of constructing their own homes.
Yes.
Additionally, low-income housing schemes throughout the country will benefit from infrastructure upgrade. These areas include Sophia, Parfit, Harmony, Bell West, Iflot, Ichuni, Kokwani, Kilcoy, Chesney, among others. New infrastructure development. $3 million will be spent to do feasibility study and design for proposed new areas in Mabaruma Region 1 and Lethem Region 9. $1.926 million will be spent on infrastructure development in Anna Catarina Region 3, Commons Lodge and Providence in Region 4, Burma Region 5.
Yes.
Comrade Wade, you're going to feel good about that.
Rolling, rolling.
And New Amsterdam Region 6. This will open up some 213.5 acres of land for housing.
Yes.
Or 1,231 house lots. $350 million will be spent on the construction of 4.2 kilometers of access road from Farm to Little Diamond in Region 4. Road upgrades. $472.5 million will be spent to upgrade 11.25 kilometers of road in the following areas: Schoonard, Parfit, Harmony, Underneeman, Westminster, Regdar, Zealot in Ross, Bell West, Zealot Phase 2, Iflot in Region 3. Providence Phase 2, Horstelling Farm Phase 1, Section D, North, Nonpareil, Good Hope Phase 2, and Hope Dutch 4, Region 4. Experiment Region 5, Kilcoy Chesney in Region 6, Tapachingo in Region 9, Amelia's Ward in Regions 2, and Block 22 Amelis Ward Phase 2 and Block 22 in Region 10. 204 million will be spent to upgrade to provide full and/or partial subsidy for the construction of 51 families in Region 7. 3.0 million will be spent on electrical installation in Regularization, in Zeeburg de Willem, Lot PP, Lepentance, Nonpareil, Sections B and D, Peters Hall, Providence, New Industrial, and Amelis Ward, Region 10. 150 million will be spent on home improvement, repairs to roofs, walls, floors, expansion to overcrowding houses, sanitation, etc. 200 million will be spent on the core home support, construction of core houses for single-family households, and families living in structures that are non-habitable in Region 4.
Honourable Minister, you have 5 minutes left.
How much? Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 162 million will be spent on sidewalks, construction of 6 kilometers of reinforced concrete sidewalk, including, will be done in Regions 3 and 4. Mr. Speaker, there's so much more that we plan to do in 2019 that will certainly seal a victory in 2020.
All right.
Mr. Speaker, that time doesn't permit.
Yes.
The Honorable Minister of Finance included in his budget speech that government has commenced discussions with our development partners to secure more financing to undertake new housing development. Once successful, Mr. Speaker, funds will be provided to upgrade infrastructure in all CHMPA schemes, all, without exception. The construction of houses in all regions. In Region 1, Mabaruma is earmarked for a significant upgrade. Cockroach Hill housing scheme will benefit from road upgrade and the construction of a community facility. In Region 2, roads will be upgraded at Anna Regina, under Neiman and Charity, and in Region 8 at Madia. A transportation terminal, community center, and concrete sidewalk will be constructed in Madia.
You have 2 minutes remaining, honourable member. You have 2 minutes remaining.
Mr. Speaker, housing is important for many aspects of healthy living and well-being. In an online article titled "The 3 Housing Problems That Most Affect Your Health," The Guardian asserts a safe, settled home is the cornerstone on which individuals and families build a better quality of life, access the services they need, and greater independence. Mr. Speaker, I want to close by saying that it is with this in mind that our government has embraced a policy direction that seeks to provide accessible and affordable housing in sanitary and safe communities with the necessities for wholesome and dignified living. And we have moved beyond the approach of providing service lots to creating cohesive and sustainable communities. These factors have driven CHMPA's 2018 program, and we worked assiduously to meet the housing need of our people. The journey continued in 2018. Mr. Speaker, 2018 will be history in a few days. 2019, the next stage of the journey beckons. For as long as one family lacks adequate housing, we will not rest. Guided by the measures outlined in Budget 2019, thank you, sir.